Hey, eighth graders. We are almost done with our social issues unit, which feels crazy to me. So we have two more lessons. We're going to look at the poem Shoulders again today. But yeah, two more lessons, and then we're going to wrap this up, which feels so weird. Today we're going to talk more. We're going to keep talking a little bit about like what we can bring to our stories and what our experiences can have us bring. So the first thing I want to talk to you about is just the idea of a book club. Like, I know we call these social issue book clubs, but as an adult, you may hear about book clubs. I was in one, like a virtual one over the pandemic, and I used to do one with a group of friends from high school. We would read a book together, and then we would all have different things to say and bring to the conversation, and it was all based on our lives, and there were perspectives and things that you may not have picked up on in the book, but somebody else did, and you just learn so much about each other, and then you learn more about the book or the story as well. So though we call it a book club, the I think the point of it is, pay attention to what other people have to say, because they're going to bring really good things to you, and books can really cause us to have good conversations with each other. So we started this unit knowing that we were going to read books that were going to open our eyes to real life struggles and events. And I think paying attention to what other people say too are really going to open our eyes to know what others have gone through and how to adapt when we face certain struggles and events. Okay. So here's the teaching point: that reading literature together can help us figure out how to be better people. Because yes, reading books helps us be better people, but then reading books together and those conversations that's what's going to open our eyes to more people and more life experiences. Okay. So books are just words on a page until we read them and we gain meaning from them. We've talked about what we can learn individually from reading. That was what we did with our last session. But now, being part of a group, we can learn so much more from each other and gain deeper insight into our books. So being willing to talk about things and share what you understand, I think, will make a big difference. Okay. So we're going to reread Shoulders one more time. And as we read it, um, keep thinking about, sorry. There we go. Sorry about that. Keep thinking about what in my life makes this poem matter so much to me. We kind of talked about that on our last session. So, what in my life makes this poem mean so much to me? A man crosses the street in rain, stepping gently, looking 2 times north and south, because his son is asleep on his shoulder. No car must splash him, no car drive too near his shadow. The man carries the world's most sensitive cargo, but he's not marked. Nowhere does his jacket say fragile, handle with care. His ear fills up with breathing. He hears the hum of a boy's dream deep inside him. We're not going to be able to live in this world if we're not willing to do what he's doing with one another. The road will only be wide. The rain will never stop falling. And this part here really means a lot to me, just because like being able to help each other. Talked about, just there was this point in our lives where some really tough stuff was going on, and just having that family, having that support made the world of a difference. I know this part means a lot to us too, just the idea of like we're helping, being somebody who helps take care of young people, and they are fragile. You guys are fragile, and trying to make sure that you are taken care of, and you are the most sensitive cargo, because you guys have the opportunity to make the world of a difference in our world. So just different things, we bring different things to this poem, or from this poem. Same thing with our books. And as you interact with somebody else and learn from them, you can figure out, okay, this is what they took from it. And it just gives you a deeper understanding of the text, and it gives you a deeper understanding of human beings, right? So if you're feeling stuck, if you're ever having a conversation about this kind of stuff, if you're feeling stuck with your partner conversations, you can use like these sentence starters. It says, this one says, this matters to me because in my life, and that's where you can have your life experience. This one says, I think this is important to me personally because, and that's where I could have said, this is important to me because I'm a mom or I'm a teacher or things like that. And then this one here, I know I'll remember this detail particular because. So you could say this line or this quote stands out to me. I know I'll remember this because. So you'll be able to use these to help guide your partner conversations. Okay. Now, I know if you're not here, you can't really have a partner conversation, so you can't really learn much from your partner. So, what we're going to do after, continue to use this kind of topic. But if you're not here, you're not able to have a conversation. So, our goal is we're getting insight into other people's lives. So maybe you're not having a guided conversation with your partner today in class, but then when you do have a conversation, like pay attention to what other people have to say, pay attention to what they have to share, because our conversations allow us to get better perspectives on what other people are going through, and those perspectives help us grow into better human beings. Make sure you're having these conversations and building bridges. You're building connections with your partner, you're building connections with your book, you're building connections with other stories. You're connecting to your text and other human beings, and that's super important. Okay, life is not all about your screen and reading your text message. Life is about connecting and making connections with other people and with other people's experiences. Okay, so what we're going to do now, and this is something we want you to do on your own, is you are going to make a T chart in your book, where you have the line and you have the line in between. And we're going to see if you can really get to know your character. And what you're going to do is you're just going to take this T chart here and take a main character and what your main character has gone through here and yourself, and help yourself make some deeper connections. And that's going to make a strong conversation between you and your partner after you connect with your main character. Okay. We are going to check these, make sure that you are making those connections. And sometimes it's going to be experiences, sometimes it's going to be character traits. Just try to think deeply and see what kind of connections you can make. All right. Let us know if you have any questions.